feet. You can sit up tall onto the tops of the heels if that feels good. Just while you're here, it might not be the most comfortable position to start in, but we're just going to wake up the feet here. We're going to breathe in and out of the nose and just focus actually on breathing in and out of the belly. So as we breathe in through the nose, we want to feel the belly expand, and as you breathe out, you want to feel it draw back down again. And that's us diaphragmatic breathing. So we're breathing into the diaphragm rather than breathing in and out of the chest, which tends to be more mouth breathing. Feels a little bit more stressful. We tend to feel like more of a thirst for air. So let's think about breathing in and out of the nose, nice and calmly. So inhale through the nose, exhale out the nose, and add a slight pause before your next breath in. Okay, we tend to over breathe a lot, and I've been reading quite a lot recently and listening to a podcast, one of School of Calisthenics, with the oxygen advantage. So yeah, definitely have a little read of that stuff, guys. It's absolutely changed the game totally for me in terms of my movement practice. So let's focus on that nasal breathing today. So inhale through the nose, exhale out the nose, adding a slight pause. You might have had enough now on the tops of the feet, so let's unhook the toes and sit onto the heels. Still focusing on that breath whilst we're sat here. It might feel good to raise one knee up and the other, or raise them both up. You can use your hands to help or take the hands away. And we're going to rock in and out a little bit of an ankle sequence. So I'm going to come up, hook the toes, transition into a squat, come up, lower the knees, and then lift. And just keep moving in and out of those positions here. So waking up the soles of the feet. Might not all feel particularly comfortable, but we're giving back to our feet right now. They do a lot for us. We shove them in horrible shoes and they carry us around all day, and we never really think about looking after them. We're always looking at training the bigger muscles and doing some of the more fancy, impressive stuff, as this is just good to give back to your feet. So from here, even nicer one to do, we can sit onto our bum. You can have one leg out in front, or you can sit in a cross-leg position, just wherever you are, just be comfy. And you're just going to massage your foot. Give your foot a bit of love, give it a nice massage. If you can't get your partner, like I can't, to do it for you, then you just got to do it yourself. So work through the feet, into the ankle, into the heel. And then let's switch and do the other side. Into the ankle, into the top of the foot. And we'll go back to the other leg. And then this time we're going to place our fingers between our toes, which may feel or look a little bit weird, but it's going to feel awesome if you can get your fingers in between your toes. Stretching the toes feels so good. Well, it does for me anyway. And then just make some circles with the foot. Wiggle about the foot, maybe make some circles with the ankle. Change direction. And then to the other side. Create that space between the toes. Wiggle it about. Make some circles. Find some clicks. And then loosen it off. So let's come back over onto all fours. Wiggle about into the body. We're going to go through some cat and cow to make the spine feel awesome. So fingers are spread, knees are under the hips, hands are under the shoulders. Take a breath in. When you're ready, we tuck the bum. And as we tuck the bum, we curl up through the spine really slowly. Visualize working through each vertebra like it's one segment at a time. And then as we get to the top, we gently tuck the chin. And then from there, do the opposite. So tilt the pelvis forwards, the belly draws down towards the mat. And as the belly draws down, the shoulder blades are locked down into the back. And I'm opening my chest at the front, eating my hair while I'm at it. And then rounding out, work all the way up through the back. Tilt the pelvis forwards. And just go through a few rounds of this. Take your time, move nice and slowly. When we get into this position in the extended version, I'm going to open the chest through the front, squeeze the heel of my hand and the front of my knee together, creating a bit more tension, getting to a deeper bend, and then rounding out, pressing up, tilting forwards, and then release to a neutral position. We're going to extend one leg back, turn the inner edge of the foot to the ground, and reach the same arm as that side up and over, just working into a nice lateral body opener. And just keep switching side to side. The other leg goes back, inner edge of the foot on the ground, reach the arm up and over. Just move in your own time. Do a couple more. And then from there, come back onto all fours. So from here, let's work into the wrist just a little. We're going to have the fingertips towards the knees. We can hook the toes again at the same time, just work around into the wrists, into that extension, make some circles. You can obviously spend longer on this if you like. I'm not going to leave us here for too long. I want to get us moving. So always important to just check in with the joints, wake the whole body up, or work through the joints like we are now into the wrists before we spend more time onto the hands. Just tells us if there's anything going on that we weren't sure of before, we hadn't noticed before. Also, it's just prepping the joints. And then from there, let's go onto the back of the hand. So we're into the flexion at the wrist, and I can extend my arm. If your arm doesn't extend and the elbow's out, just think about turning the armpit of your elbow forwards or turning the pointy bit of your elbow backwards. And you can do both together. Gentle rocks in and out. Still breathing in and out of the nose, into the belly, and then from there just release, maybe shake the hands out. So from here we're going to go hook the toes, lift the bum and go into a downward dog. And in this downward dog, just start by bending the legs. Let's get that nice open shoulder flexion and nice flat back position. Squeeze the armpits towards each other, wrap the shoulders across the back, making that space. And then it might feel good to start extending the legs, so maybe one at a time. Don't worry about the heels touching the ground, it's not about that. You're just opening up through the back of the body, but also strengthening the front of the body. Pin the rib cage down, keep breathing into the belly. And then from there, we're going to raise the right leg up. Maybe open the hip at the top if that feels good, but don't worry about that if it doesn't. You can just keep it extended. And then when you're ready, draw the knee into the chest. We're going to take the foot up to the top corner of the mat or just outside your hands. And then just go into this deep lunge position. And in this lunge, we're squeezing the bum, locking the lower belly in. This hip's getting a nice opening. The outer front hip's getting a nice opening too. Move around into the hips, make some circles. Maybe you can come onto the forearms or you can use a block or something to help get you there. The lower back wants to be nice and flat. Let's not try and force the arms down and not be able to reach this back arm whilst also rounding the spine to keep the back nice and flat. Leading forwards with the belly and the chest. From here, we're going to turn into a Cossack squat. So you can go onto the heel of this foot, especially if your ankles are tight. Don't worry about the heel going down. If you can sit the heel down, give it a shot. Maybe use your hands for support. You can also use something under your bum, like a block. And actually the blocks can come in handy if we want to play around with this Cossack position. So you can have a go at sitting all the way down and coming back up again. And if sitting to the floor feels a bit too much for now, why not use a block? And you can get some thinner ones than this too, or just use some books. Sit back onto it and come back off it again. And obviously work it down towards the floor. So that's something you can also play with. The front knee's drawn open. Maybe add a little reach here, feels nice. Whilst I'm here, I'm going to turn my foot in and out again. This is me working through the internal external rotation into that hip. Obviously bring the arms down if you want to and just make those rotations. From here, let's lift the hips up, use the hands to help assist. Come across the other side, but as we come across, we're turning back into that lunge. So we're in the lunge on the other side, both hands inside the front foot. Move into the hips, wiggle about. If this is too much, you're welcome to just lower that back leg. I'm squeezing the bum, tucking in the lower belly, pressing this hip forwards. Maybe again, coming onto the forearms, move around. And then let's turn back into that Cossack. So in our Cossack squat, we can go onto the ball of this foot. Keep breathing, keep moving. Maybe we can sit the bum all the way down and then come back up again. Play around with it, have some fun with it. Use your books to help. And now as we transition across on this next one, let's do those rotations first. As we transition across on the next one, we're going to see how low we can keep our hips. Just listen to your body, there shouldn't be any pain, so just take it steady. So from this position, I'm going to start to move across to the other side. Okay, so you may need to lift your hips up higher than that, that's fine. Go to where you can. And then again, across and across. Once more. Okay, no, once more. Let's go back to the other side. And then from here, all I'm going to do is both my hands are inside my front foot, my back foot steps in. So now I'm in a squat. Okay, in your squat position, sitting up nice and tall, belly's in. You can turn the toes out slightly here. They don't need to be perfectly forwards. And whilst you're sat here, let's just press one knee open, check in with the hips. Switch to the other side, press that knee open. Go for some twists, and if this is too much, guys, you're welcome to just like kneel down on one side and just take a bit of that pressure off. We're going to hold one ankle, open the arm up. It might be that you need to take the elbow back, so try both and see which feels better for you. So I can go elbow, arm, bring it down, switch, elbow, arm, and let's just keep moving side to side. Feeling a nice rotation in the trunk of the body. You're going to feel this all the way down to the outer hip, and then release. From here we're going to sit onto the bum, have a little go at that as well. Another little challenge for you. Can you sit down and get all the way back up again? Okay, and then from here let's go through some internal and external rotation. So I can sit back down again, take the feet out, sit up nice and tall, create some tension in the belly. We're breathing in and out of the nose. We're going to take one knee in and out, and the other, and out. And just keep working through that position, noticing how that feels in the hips. We get some clicks like I just did. And then from here, we're going to go one out, one in, back forwards, one out, one in. And as I move through these positions, I'm keeping tension in the body. I'm going to gradually start to then take my legs into this 90-90 setup. So I've got ankle and knee in line, knee and hip in line, same with the back, knee and hip, ankle and knee, okay? So sit yourself up nice and tall. If you find that your bum is tucking under and you're really rounding out or falling backwards, pop a cushion or a block under this front hip, under the bum. Okay, so breathing in and out of the nose, we're going to press both legs down into the ground. And then from here you can squeeze the fist. We're going to lead forwards with the chest. Press through that front thigh as we sit up. Again, pressing this back leg down as well. Sitting up once more. And up. So I'm slightly tilting the pelvis forwards and hinging. What I'm not doing is this, rounding through the back, okay? Once I get to the top, we're now going to reach towards this back leg and come back up again. Press the legs down, reach, and up. And then push this leg into the floor as you reach, and then up, and then let's switch. This knee comes open, this knee goes in, and we're now facing the other way, doing exactly the same. Squeeze the fist, press the legs into the ground, come forwards, and sit tall. Breathing in and out of the nose. From there, pressing both legs down, reaching towards that back leg, pushing it into the floor, coming back up. Reach and back up, reach and back up, and then from there open the knee and out here. And then it just might feel nice to just kind of move side to side. You can add a fold. And you can stick with this or have a little go from your squat. Coming up in my squat position, can I go in with one knee, in with the other, maybe go in and out, moving slow. Slower you go, the harder it's going to be. Okay, and then once we get to the top, into this squat position, let's let the knees go outside the arms. So we're not coming into like a frog stand, we're just pressing the knees open with the arms and coming into a stretch. And the inner thighs into the hips. You can balance there if you want, let the weight of the legs sort of hang into the arms, the opposites of the opposite of what we tell you to do in frog. Just open into the hips. And then sit up. Sit onto your bum. I'm going to take the legs wide into more of a pancake stretch. So we sit up tall. And then in this position, you might have to go narrow with the legs. What we want is to be able to rock the pelvis forward so you can sit up tall. If it rocks back and you're rounding out, then that's where you can use your block or your brick, your cushion here. And if I sit on the edge of that block, that's going to promote my pelvis to want to tilt forwards, which is going to feel way better if you're feeling tight in the hips. So try that. Once you've set your position up, making sure you don't feel any discomfort or pain to the knees, prop the pelvis forward slightly, sit tall. And then all we're going to do is think about hinging from the hips here, leading forwards with the chest and sitting up again. I'm pressing my legs into the ground as I sit up. I'm not just passively sinking into it and bouncing back up again, okay? So press the legs down, tilt forwards and sit tall as you push the legs into the floor. You can bring the hands out here. You can also try the hands overhead. Reaching forwards, leading through the chest, like you're trying to take your belly button towards the ground. Press the legs down to sit up. Okay, so keep going with that one. You can also add a little side bend, which feels really nice into the lower back and the outer hip. And I can take one hand across my stomach towards the opposite hip, reach the other arm up and over, press both legs into the ground, sit up tall, switch, reach. If I can go further, I can start to maybe then hold on to that foot. Sit up tall. If I've managed to hold on to the foot, I'm going to try and anchor and draw the chest through and underneath that arm. And then add a mixture, arms can come up again, reach forwards, press the legs into the ground. Keep breathing. You can also do this holding onto a weighted load as well, if you've got like a fractional plate or light load that you want to add on. One more. So really feeling those legs drive down into the floor as you come up. It's going to make it more active rather than a passive fold. Okay, from there we're going to draw the legs in. Bring the feet out in front. Just take the feet in and out. Nice, easy, gentle internal external rotation into those hips. Okay, and then from there, let's release, bring the feet in and come back onto the mat and step into a downward dog. Walk through the feet, wiggle into the hips, whatever feels good. Keep breathing in and out of the nose. Maybe hooking one foot on the back of the other ankle, checking in with the calves. Okay, and then lift the eyes forward, let's step or jump. When you get to the top of the mat, all we're going to do is roll back into a backward roll. As you come forward, see if you can come back to your squat. You can come up onto the toes. You can use the hands. So obviously if you can't come up onto the feet, press with the hands to lift yourself up, go onto the toes. On your next one, let's try and stand up, reach up. Press those arms up at the top, maybe go for a little side bend each side, and then come back down again. Maybe take the legs overhead on the next one if that feels good. Reach up. If you're feeling really like this is quite easy for you, go onto one foot and then try and stand up, more like a pistol squat. And then again, down, try the other leg. Woo, that was harder for me on that side. Go over. Mix it up. Maybe do it holding your ankles. definitely harder. That's Gemma for my inspiration for that one. Thanks, Gem. Okay, when you get to the top, let's take the feet a little bit wider. You can bend the knees a bit and then just fold. Hold the elbows, ragdoll. Keep breathing in and out of the nose. Moving into the hips. So as I'm in this fold, it might feel nice to then lift the bum and the hips a bit higher, and it's going to extend the legs more, and I'll feel a deeper stretch. Obviously bend the knees more if it's feeling too much for your back or your hamstrings. And then from the position you're in now, all we're going to do is toe heel the feet out. Nice and wide. In this shape, let's turn the big toes out, bend the legs, bring the hands to the hips, and then stand up. Standing nice and tall, we're going to go into some wide squats. So in this position, all I'm going to do is bring the hands together at my chest. You can keep them here, especially if you feel tight in the shoulders and this gets too much. See, I'm gently like creeping my feet in. I'm trying to do it without you noticing. So from here, I'm going to send the hips back and press the knees open. Then I can maybe raise the arms up, which is going to feel more challenging for the hips and into the shoulders. So if your shoulders feel super tight, you can separate them or just keep your hands down. Okay, which do you prefer? Moving into the hips, press the knees open, try to keep them tracking the toes, and then let's stand up. And we'll just do that twice more. Try and work the depth and really try and focus on driving those knees out, feeling that into the hips. Okay, so sitting back down, hips back, knees press open, reach the arms up, pull the lower belly in, breathe in and out of the nose. And stand, bring the hands down. Wiggle about into the hips a little bit. And we'll do that once more. Back into your squat, reach the arms up. Press the knees out. Sit deeper, keep pressing the knees out. And stand. And then from here, the hands come to the hips. Let's turn the big toes in and the heels out now. And then all we're going to do is hinge and reach forwards. What I'm not doing is rounding through the back or pushing my bum back behind me. Instead, it's like I'm hips hinge from here, pelvis tilts forwards, and I start to fold. The hands can come down onto anything in front, maybe a sofa, chair, or yoga blocks. And then once they're onto the floor, if you can get them there or onto your platform, really think like I'm pressing the belly to the thighs. And it might feel nice to just kind of wiggle side to side. You might get the hands all the way onto the ground. Maybe you want to walk them through behind you. The weight wants to shift slightly forward into the foot, and you're going to then feel the hips lift higher and the hamstrings get a deeper stretch. Rather than if the weight's back in the heels and then driving my butt back too far, it takes it off the hamstrings. So let's lift the hips, fold. If you want a little challenge from here, you can have a go going into headstand from this position. So I've got to get the hands down for that. The head comes down to the base of that tripod. Press through the hands, start to lift the legs out wide. All the way up into your headstand. Breathe into it, stay here as long as you like. And then back out. Maybe do a few if you want. But if you know you need to work on that fold, then stay in this fold. So if you get to a point, if you're really flexible and your head is like almost on the floor, then work into the legs a bit more just by drawing the feet in and going for a narrower stance. And working down, you feel a bit more then. Shift the weight slightly forward. Hinge, breathe. Again, I always really like to move a bit dynamically as well and just work into the hips side to side. You could then come into those Cossacks again if that felt good. Okay, so let's come into these Cossacks now. If you just start to lower your body down, we're going to do a one each side, so cross, and then come back to the front of the mat and turn back into a lunge. And then in this lunge position, we're going to raise the arm that's closest to the front foot up, add a little twist, bring it down, and then use this hand that's close to the knee to gently press the knee open but keep the foot grounded, and you're going to feel more going on into the outer hip and glute. Keep breathing. You can lower the back knee, extend the front leg, hinge and tilt that pelvis forwards, leading with the chest, leading with the belly button rather than rounding the back. We don't want to lock this knee out to keep it soft. And then from there, come back to that Cossack position, maybe move across low, back into your lunge. From your lunge, let's add that twist. And then from that twist, press that front knee open. You can lower the back knee at any point, guys, you don't have to keep it up. And then from there, lower the back leg, hinge over this front leg, so you can definitely come all the way up here if you need to. Soften that front knee, think about tilting the pelvis forwards and lead over the chest. Feeling that in the belly of the hamstrings rather than in the back of your knee. Okay, and then come forwards into your Cossack. Any variation in your Cossack, if there was something we did you enjoyed, move across, add a twist, add a press, back into the hamstrings, into your Cossack, move across, go at your own pace. If I'm moving too fast for you now, don't worry, just slow it right down. I get carried away sometimes. So here we add a twist, add a push, lower the knee into the hammies, into that Cossack, move across. Another really nice one to do from here is if I've gone into my lunge, my front foot's going to keep turning out, the back foot goes onto the outer edge, so I just literally keep rotating, lift the hips, lift the top arm up. There's so much going on here in the outer hip, feels awesome. So if you can get into that position, that will also feel really good. Come back, add any variations in. I know I missed the hamstrings out then, but you can add them in. As I get to the front here, outer edge of the back foot goes onto the mat, the front foot keeps turning, lift the hips, bridge them up, and then back down again. Twist, push, reach, turn, across into my lunge, I twist, I then push that front knee out, then I turn everything open, lift the top arm up, and then from there I'm going to come all the way back to the front, step into a downward dog, wiggle out through the feet, look forwards, jump, sit all the way down, and then let's just do a little bit of work into the shoulders. So the hands are going to point behind me, little fingers towards each other, and then from here let's really squeeze the shoulder blades back together. So I'm pinching and opening the chest, should feel nice, and you can stay here if that feels enough. I want to avoid any discomfort or pain in the elbows, so only go to where feels good. We're just going to start by gently taking the bum away, a little bit at a time. Keep squeezing the shoulder blade back rather than this happening. Pinch and open the chest. If your shoulders are tight, let's just go a little bit wider as well with the hands, okay? So don't worry if the little fingers don't touch. Go to where feels good for you. Keep opening the chest, keep squeezing the shoulder blades back. Breathe in and out of the belly. And then let's take it back. And then from here, in a sort of tabletop position, all we're going to do is tuck the bum under and raise the hips up. So in this shape, what I'm not doing is arching through the lower back. So think tuck bum under, squeeze bum, hips open in line with knees, and now I can open that chest. Breathe into it. Okay, and then lower the bum to the ground. So do like 3 to 5 of those in your own time. Those of you who want to take it a bit further, we raise up and then maybe raise the top arm up and over. Take it back to the floor, over, take it back to the floor. And you might find you want to actually swim it all the way back and open. See how that feels. Okay, and then when you're ready, lower your bum back down. And then we're going to start going a little bit higher. So we're going to come into more of a sort of bridge position now. So I'm going to raise up, squeeze the bum, lift one arm up, and then I'm going to go into a deeper extension as I reach up that top arm and overhead. Take it back down. And switch. Breathe in and out of the nose. Don't let the knees flare open. Ground the feet. Squeeze the bum back to the floor. Press up on this side again. Open up. Once more on the other side. And then if we want another challenge, which I definitely know some of you will, we're going to go all the way over into a full bridge. So you've got to be careful with this bottom hand. If you've got a sticky mat like mine, it can actually work against you. But this bottom hand is going to rotate to allow me to come into this bridge position. Please don't force it, okay? Because you could hurt yourself if you do this one and you force it. So I'm going to raise up. As it gets to the top arm comes up, the bottom arm starts to rotate here, Take the hand over to the ground. And now I'm in my bridge position. In your bridge, rather than hanging back here and looking towards the hands, take the chin through to the chest, like you're looking through a window. Press through the arms, press through the feet. Don't let the knees flare open. Keep those feet grounded. And then let's come out. Okay, try it on the other side. So from here, go into my bridge, my reverse bridge, reach top arm up and over, turn and rotate that bottom hand, if your mat allows it. And then we're in our bridge. Coming out the other side and sitting down. So that is a good workout in itself. Have a little go. Do like either 3 to 5. I call this position like crab. You move around like a crab. Okay, so you can go into those crab raises, single arm raises overhead, bigger extensions, or over into your wheel, bridge, either or. And then if you want to have a go at full bridge, you could also try elevate your feet on a platform, which will allow a bit more space in the spine for you to get a nicer curve, more comfortable curve in the spine. It's just harder to push, that's all. So if you have got like a sofa or something stable that isn't going to go flying across the room, try that. Otherwise, lie down, feet hip width, knees point to the ceiling. We tuck the lower back into the ground, pelvis tilts towards you, peel the hips up. And then from there, place the hands by the shoulders, the heel of the hand is firmly pushed down. Got to be clear with that, because if the part of the hand is raised up and you're forcing it, you're probably going to really hurt your wrist. You want that extension to be open in the wrist. Elbows point up, not out. From there, feet point forwards. And then I'm going to press through my hands and the feet together. Start to lift up. Maybe I'll come onto the head and then back down. Just kind of teaching your body this position, what you're asking it to do. Don't worry if you're not ready to go straight in. Raise up a bit higher. As you start getting higher and higher, take the head through, extend the arms, and watch for this happening. Knees flaring out is going to put more pressure in the lower back. So let's ground the feet, push the feet into the ground. We're pushing using the legs. We're also pushing and using the arms. Breathe, and then come out when you're ready. And that's your bridge. So, hope you enjoyed that one. We're going to go into a bit of flexion. So tuck the knees in, round out, give yourself a hug, move around like me, make some back farts onto the mat. I can't avoid it, it just seems to happen all the time. Rock around, and then we can go into like a happy baby, where we take the outer edges of the feet or the ankles or the calves. It really depends on your body, so don't force this position. If you're then rounded and forcing it, hold lower down the leg. Pull the knees towards the armpits, and then we're flattening the lower back into the ground rather than rounding and cutting it up. So try and draw that down. Breathe, rock side to side, and then you have to smile in this one because it's half baby. Okay, so here my ankle is above my knee, shin is nice and vertical. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out, drawing them down closely, adding a bit more tension, pressing the lower back into the ground. Breathe in and out of the nose. Stay here for as long as you like. It might also feel good to rock up to the shoulders and take the feet overhead. And then when you're ready, guys, you can just roll out and relax. So feet together, knees open, shoulders down into the back. Or arms and legs extended, maybe take the arms overhead. Any position where you feel awesome, just stay there, okay? And you can stay here for as long as you like. And just bring your awareness back to that breath. So we're drawing the breath in from the belly, in through the nose. And then out of the nose. Maybe place one hand on the chest, one on the belly. As the breath draws in through the nose, feel it pass through the nose, through the back of the throat, through the chest, and then into the belly. So there's like 4 points of contact, and then feeling it all draw out again. Everything sinks down. After the exhale, just add a slight pause. Then again. Inhale, exhale. And pause. So you can continue with that breathing technique for as long as you like, guys. Stay lying down for as long as you like. Thank you very much for moving with me again today, and hope to catch you in my garage again soon. Class dismissed. Nearly forgot that.